A hero to be remembered, Percival George G. Percival enrolled in the Australian Army in 1917. He joined the 6th Section Sea Transport Staff and survived the war, later to die a mysterious death on board a ship headed to the USA. Many facilities changed during Percival George G's Ipswich Grammar School experience. The boarding quarters were improved in 1912. The boarding quarters had new improvements for maids, servants and students. The construction of the science building, which still stands today, was also complete in 1913. As Mr. Lawrence, the headmaster, said, the completion of the new science building is an accomplished fact. Percival most likely had friends who were boarders and slept in the new rooms, and he likely studied, revised and learnt in the new science block. Percival was part of the medical unit known as the 6th Section Sea Transport Staff, but he likely didn't help in any battles. Each sea transport section had a matron, 2 senior nurses, 4 staff nurses, a medical practitioner, a staff sergeant, a masseuse, a pharmacist, a sergeant, a corporal and 3 privates. Percival was given the role as captain and chemist. The Australian War Memorial does not say that there was a captain on board each ship, so it would be assumed that he was not on board any ship who was involved in the 6th Section Sea Transport Staff in some other way. The Sea Transport Staff are a medical unit which took men off the battlefield to recover. It was useful as the smaller boats could travel faster and help more troops than the larger ones. Percival George G showed the IGS expectation of community when he enrolled to medically treat people who were injured from battle. He only served for less than 4 months, including travelling to his destination. There is little detail on any battles the 6th Section Sea Transport Staff attended, so I cannot say which battle or battles he attended. Percival George G had a loving family before he disappeared unexpectedly. Percival George G was married on the 27th October 1920 at Gatton to Jane Selina Robson and had 3 children, Daphne Constance G, who was born around 1922, Desmond G and William Percival G, who were twins and they were born around 1923. Percival George G was born in September 1890 in Ipswich, Australia. His father George was 20 and mother Margaret was 25. Shortly after the war, he died mysteriously on board a ship headed to the US. Percival had given up working as a chemist with his father around 5 years after returning from the war and decided to travel to America to study anesthesiology. What he didn't expect was that he would never make it there alive. When the ship got to the US, Percival was not on board. The ship's captain and staff had little idea what happened, and it was believed that he was swept overboard by a freak wave. Percival George G died with a loving family in his heart. Percival George G was an old boy of Ipswich Grammar School and had an amazing life before, during and after his few days at war. He enrolled in the medical unit known as the 6th Section Sea Transport Staff. He had a loving family with 3 children, and he became a chemist and worked with his father until deciding to go to America to study anesthesiology. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to America and disappeared on his boat. Percival George G exceeded the expectations of IGS. Leadership, excellence, community,